Today, I'm gonna help you finally conquer bar chords with 3 simple tips and 1 easy exercise. Let's dive into it. So the first tip is you wanna make sure you are using the side of your finger, not the flat part. The side of our finger is gonna have less nooks and crannies because that's not where it bends than the front part of the finger. Also, if you see when I play it, I've actually got my finger over the edge of the fingerboard because that's where my finger is flattest. Now I've practiced and moved around a lot and figured out where the ideal spot for me to play is. You're gonna have different length fingers, you're gonna have different shape fingers, and that's okay. You just gotta play around with where that's gonna work best for you. The second tip is you wanna bring your elbow in towards your body. It's gonna keep your finger parallel to the fret. When we go wide, like sometimes we wanna do, it's gonna tend to pull our hand where our fingers aren't parallel anymore and make it harder to play those bar chords. So tuck your elbow in, not out, which is kind of the opposite of our natural tendency when we start learning. The third tip is we don't actually want to squeeze with our thumb. You should be able to lift your thumb up, see I got mine here, and still get a bar chord to ring out pretty cleanly. It's all about our arm weight. So here's the exercise that I do. I set my arm up and then I just let my arm fall onto the neck of the guitar. I'm just letting the weight of my arm, which weighs somewhere between 8, 10, 12, maybe more, and then I'm letting that weight go into the guitar. Now this is more of a mental thing because again, we're not coming from the top of the guitar. We can't really put just the weight of our guitar, our hand would fall away, but we want to use the weight of our finger. I'm kind of pushing this way with this hand and this way with this hand so that I'm able to get that bar out cleanly. So that's the third tip. Now, here's the exercise that I recommend. I set a metronome, maybe to 60 beats per minute, something like that, and I just start by fretting a note at the 5th fret, and I let it go for maybe 4 clicks, and then I do a bar on 2 of the strings. Now you do see I'm on the pad of my finger there, then I do 3 strings, then I'm gonna go to 4, and you see I'm starting to roll onto that side of my finger like we talked about. I'm gonna go to 5 strings, and then finally I go to 6 strings. And you hear it's not perfect when I do 6 strings, but it's getting there, making some progress. Then the next thing I'm gonna do is my middle finger at 6th fret. And for my middle finger, same thing, I start to roll onto the side, closest to my thumb. And again, it's not perfect, but it's getting there, right? We're never gonna bar all 6 strings with our middle finger. Certainly I haven't ever, but it's good that we're practicing this because when we do need to bar, we're gonna be able to use each finger. Next, I do my ring finger. Now this time I'm actually gonna roll away from my thumb, sort of towards the body of the guitar. So it's not on the flat part, but it's on this, the kind of leading edge, as opposed to my middle finger and my ring finger are on these edges that I'm pushing, and then ring finger and pinky are gonna be there. And then I go and I do my pinky, practicing doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 strings. And then that's my goal right there, is I'm working on all those. And maybe I'll repeat that, say 10 times. So it's kind of 4 clicks each spot, getting used to doing it. Now, the biggest thing is if your hand's starting to get tired, we want to adjust our technique more than we want to work on that muscle. If we're using this little muscle here to grip, it's a tiny muscle. It's not going to get that much bigger. It's not going to get that much stronger. What we want to do is we want to adjust our technique, use more of that arm weight, get our hand in a more proper position. That's what this exercise is practicing. So if you can only go through that once or twice when you're starting out, that's awesome, right? We're gonna work up to 10, and we're not working to build the muscle, we're working to build the technique so that we're not using as much of the muscle. All right, if you found this helpful, please join me at school.com/guitar for my free guitar course and community. There's a bunch of great guitar players there just like you, looking to get better, looking to learn. We do live Q&A calls. There's a full course where I teach you how to learn a song. There's play-along practice tracks, all kinds of stuff. It's the most fun place for adult guitar players to hang out on the internet. Again, that's schoolwithak.com/guitar. I'll see you in there.